Welcome back to Keep Expecting Miracles. I am Ilissa.
And I'm Jessica.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, hey.
Can you believe we are in February?
Mm,
Thank God.
right?
January
Right.
was like a whole year,
I know. I know. It's true.
especially that one dreaded week we don't want to even remember and think about.
Yes. 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 Like, no words needed.
Right, right. Well, so we are here. We've decided to break up our episodes into seasons. So we
Woo-hoo.
are now starting season 2. So this is the first episode of our second season. Our first season will be made up of 13 episodes. So
Yes.
we did that very purposefully. So now we are going into season 2, and we decided to do series. 3 episodes will make up a series. So this series will have a part 1, part 2, and a part 3, and they'll have a specific theme. So today we want to introduce the water series, the theme of
Yes.
water. Water is life, water is transformation, water is healing, water is ever changing. Like I said, it's transformation. And so we have experienced the healing properties of water, the intentionality of water, and just how it has moved us. Um, so we're like, let's just make a whole series. We have so much content that we could feature. And really, what we want to do is expand on each of these series that we're going to introduce, that we're going to talk about for season 2 is an expansion of what we've already discussed in season 1. So season 1 is like our opener, our intros. Those episodes were really, really good, but you can hear when we are talking in the episode, like, we still have so much more to say. Like, we could do a whole nother episode on just that one topic. So we're like, let's just do expansions of what we've already talked about and dive deeper into these subjects. So
I'm
let's get right.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm sorry, I'm like talking way too much. As you can tell, I'm excited too.
So, for this first episode of the series of water, we're discussing how we have been transformed by water and how water enhances transformational experiences. So, we both have done, water has been an integral part of our spiritual, I guess, stepping into our divinity, feeling cleansing, releasing. Water has played a huge role in that for both of us.
So yes, we're gonna get right into our I am segment. That this segment represents us and our divinity and what we do for self care, what we want to promote to our community, to our friends and family. It's I am that I am. It's the meat of our episodes. It represents who we are and who we discovering ourselves to be. So this our topic for today is transformed by water.
Yeah, so we're talking about how we have been transformed by water, how water has been a tool to for our transformation. And something that I have told my kids before that I absolutely love because I'm like, what is it with the water? And then I was just thinking about this. I'm like, well, water, we can't really create water, right? We're not going to go we can't really go around and like make it, right? We can't destroy water because if we try to burn it up, if we put it under heat, if we freeze it, what happens? It just becomes something else. It's still
Mhm.
water in a different state. And so if you take those same qualities and apply it to energy, energy cannot be created. I'm like, oh, so water is energy,
Mhm.
right? They
Mhm.
coincide. And so I also am like, well, water is another form of God. And so it's played a crucial role and continues to play a crucial role in our lives.
Mhm.
So I know you're a big beach goer, and
Mhm.
you just love to be by the water.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the water is very, very healing to me. It's more than healing. It's calming, it's soothing. It takes you, to another place, I feel like. And so obviously I love the ocean. I love being by the ocean, being on the water, being on a boat. Um but I remember, and I've always loved being in, like, swimming, whether it's in a pool or, in the ocean, or I don't swim in, like, rivers or anything. Like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember somebody, when we were on the retreat, somebody had called me a water baby.
Aw.
She was like, "You're just a water baby." Because I was literally swimming, like, twice a day.
Wow.
I I don't even know. I'm like,
Wow.
"I just have to swim. I need to swim. Like, I need to."
Mm-hmm.
It's so that aspect of it, but, you have to excuse me. I am trying to fight off cold from my kids. So my voice is a little bit, nasally, and I don't really like it, but it's okay. Um,
You're good.
yes, my experience with water for healing, it always comes strong to me when I'm pregnant. Um, I feel best, like, when I'm really, really big. I feel best when I'm in water because I don't feel so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the water helps me just, like, feel weightless and, like, floating, and
Yeah,
I
it
feel like I
carries
don't have
you.
yeah, I don't have to carry the weight of, everything that is my body
Mm-hmm.
when I'm submerged in water. And so I remember specifically during my last pregnancy, I had got guidance from my doula and from a spiritual healer that I was working with. She Shout out to Alondra, also known as Bruja Island on Instagram. She told me, she was like, "You need to get by water. I had to take baths almost once a week. They wanted me to take a spiritual bath once a week.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Are you serious? I can't even bend down and get in a bathtub. I'm so huge."
Mm-hmm.
So I did it when I could, or just go down by the water, basically. They're like, "You need to submerge yourself." And so I got a chance to go um down to Mexico with my husband and daughter, and we took a little mini baby moon. It
Oh.
wasn't really a staycation. It was like a 2-3 hour drive, I think, from where we were, and I literally was in the ocean the entire time. We got in a hotel on the beach, and I remember, like, I can feel it. I remember being, like, the water came up to, like, above my chest because I wanted to get my whole body in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I just remember letting the waves just, like, move me back and forth, and then I don't know if I'm remembering a dream now. Remember I had a dream that I was a mermaid?
Yes, I do.
So I had the dream before we went to Mexico that I was a mermaid,
Oh.
and I don't know if I was something in the water. I don't know if I was a mermaid or not because I don't see my tail, but I lived in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was me because I was looking out at the shore at my family, but I was in the water, and it was like I was just observing them. And I remember, like, the waves just, like, moving me back and forth, moving me back and forth. And I was just sitting there observing, and I was just peaceful.
Oh.
And so it was after that dream, I was like, "I gotta go to the ocean." And so when I went,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to the water, I think that where we were in Mexico is like the Gulf of Mexico. Where we went, um, the water was very, very clear and beautiful. You could see, like, when the waves wash up onto the sand and the sun would be glistening down on the sand, it looked like diamonds on the
Really?
ground. Diamonds
Wow.
glistening, like the whole sand was just like diamonds everywhere. Even Alina was like, "Mom, look at it. It's sparkly. It's
Aw.
sparkling." I'm like, "Yes." So I tried to recreate that dream. And I literally was just sitting there meditating, meditating,
Mm-hmm.
meditating. And what came to me when I was meditating in the ocean was that I am deeply supported
Mm.
and healed, and transformed, and that the waves will hold me and support me as much as I need it. It was a very stressful time just with me being pregnant. I was trying to make sure I had maternity leave. I was trying to make sure I was gonna get paid during my maternity leave, which none of those happened. I ended up leaving that job, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was just stressed because I was trying to hold on to a situation that didn't serve me. I was trying to
Yeah.
rely on a construct of, I was a nurse. I was trying to rely on what I thought was a system that would support me during a vulnerable time. And I realized,
Mm-hmm.
like, this is all fake. This is not what is going to support me. This is not what's going to hold me and my family. But what is this water. What is the ocean. So let me use this strength and use the power of this water to transform my mindset into thinking further into the future of what I need to do for myself and my family. And
That's
I
transformative.
yeah, it's transformative. I was able to bottle it up and bring some, and I have some, and I have
Mm-hmm.
it on my altar now, and I use it. And um it's amazing what the water can do.
Yeah, and it's the we've seen videos where they have scientists that say like if you speak to the water, if you speak to a bottle of water before you drink it, like the water molecules change. But then, we know that water is reactive.
Mhm.
So it's like we our human capabilities of understanding what this water is and what it can actually do for us is limited.
Mhm.
However, there is a knowing that we have deep within that we can't, I would say, even for me, like I can't even put it into words. I just know that, as you know, like it is here to help and to heal and to just be there for us. And like we have to release ourselves to it.
Mhm.
There was one time when my mom well, she came with the kids and I to Aquatica. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make her go into the rapid river. And
Who?
so the rapid
Who?
my mom, I took
Oh,
my
your
mom to
mom. I didn't hear
Aquatica.
you say your mom.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we were in the rapid river, and so the rapid river requires you release control. You can't do nothing. You got to let the water do it all because all you're gonna be doing is fighting against it. And so she's like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like panicking in the water, and I'm like, "Mommy, think about this. You have to allow yourself to be carried," which I'm
Mhm.
like is mirroring when we have situations that we face. We have to allow ourselves to be carried by spirit, carried by God, and with the knowing that everything is going to be okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
at this time, my mom was like facing some really difficult challenges in her life. And I'm like, I'm so glad she came with us here because I know this is going to, this is going to help her. Like, whether or not she's thinking of it like that,
Mhm.
somehow the message is going to translate over
Yes.
to what's going on in her life. And so, and the
Yes.
only reason why I was able to even piece that together and think about that is because I did that for myself.
Mm.
And so we're in the water and she's panicked. I was like, just let go. You have to just let the water carry you. You have to let it carry you. And then she realized, like, oh, okay, I'm actually okay. And she allowed herself to just float and go and go and go. And yes, she had a life vest on. Anyone
Mhm.
who's listening who has been to Aquatica, the water, or excuse me, if you have not been to Aquatica, the water is like what, 2 or 3 feet deep. So like you're not gonna drown. The
Mhm.
water just going fast and it propels you forward. And so what I like to do for myself is I have like this hair washing ritual that I do where I get under the water, and as I'm cleansing my hair and I'm like, just rubbing through it, and even getting the brush, like I'm in prayer, like talking to God about whatever's going on in my life, and
Mhm.
just like, thank you, just also in gratitude. Prayer
Mhm.
for me is, gratitude, not just the asking. So it's, going running through my hair, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so now I'm here under the water, excuse me, release, remove these things from me,
Mhm.
remove the negativity so that I can feel you, so that you can fill me up through my crown chakra and
Mhm.
push everything in here. And it's crazy because the more that I started to do that, the more I can feel like a sensation literally on the top of my head.
Oh,
So
wow.
now, like, I'm very careful with this area,
Mhm.
as crazy as this sounds, because I'm like, it literally feels like it's open sometimes. Like it doesn't feel like it used to.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's crazy. But I also listen to like affirmative music. Like I'll put on some Geminelle or some Tony Jones, and just be like listening and singing, and like just affirming myself while I'm under the water.
Under the water, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty powerful. It's we also had a waterfall experience too in
Yes,
Costa
we
Rica.
did. You see, I didn't
That
mention
was
it though.
I know. Jessica didn't really like it. I took a more playful approach um to it because I had used that waterfall specifically in my visualizations leading up to going. Like I had used that visualizing myself in that waterfall to manifest being there. I mean, because I knew I was being there, but I wanted it to be solidified. I didn't want any obstacles. I didn't want anything to get in my way of going. And so when we got there, it was like, oh, this is it. This was, I manifested this. Like, what if I never come back here? Like, I need to
Hmm.
live my life to the fullest. I need to play. And like, I felt like I was there by myself. And
When I say
everybody was
you
just
were
like,
on a mission, you were on a mission. I was like, okay, I see.
well, it was a waterfall, so we were around very slippery rocks. We had to
Hmm.
walk on very slippery rocks. The water wasn't dirty, it was clear. It was flowing, running water. It was a big giant waterfall, and then it had like little pools around it. And so you can move in and out the pools, you can go underneath the big rock. It was beautiful when I tell you. I wish we had a professional photographer so I could get like really the pictures are okay, but if we would have had like a videographer there, it would have been really good. Like that
It
would have
would have
been
been
good.
amazing. I
I
only
mean, it was
share.
a good experience anyway, but it would have been better. It would have been good to like capture it in that way. But that helped me do. I shared recently on one of my personal vlogs that I do on my channel on my Instagram page. Um, a river visualization. I had shared that sometimes I hold on to conversations, I hold on to things or experiences, and I replay them in my mind. Like, oh, I could have said that, or I should have said this, or something that really, really has hurt me, or something that I just felt very sensitive about. And so I said, you know what? Why don't I just do like a visualization, a meditation of walking down, because that river, that waterfall that we were on, we had to like walk down these slippery freaking step rocks. That was another, like trying to get down there was just like, okay, are we gonna live through this? Because there there's wet rocks that we have to walk down, and then we got to walk back up. There was no like railing to hold on to. We were all like, okay, let's get. So I visualized myself walking this long path, getting to the river, and then I just imagine this flowing river, just constant flow with a small waterfall. But I'm holding a basket, so just you imagine yourself holding a big wicker basket as you're walking down there, and then you get down there and you just say all of the things. all of the instances, all of the experiences, conversations, the hurt words that people have said to you that hurt you, things that you think that people believe about you that are not true, or just situations that you want to get rid of, just pour it out into the basket. Place the basket, kneel down and place the basket into the river and watch it float away. I
Mm,
literally have done that
that's
every day now
powerful.
for the last 3 weeks, and I'm telling you, like, I've gone back to, like, the year 2008 and,
Wow.
like, let go. I'm like, "Oh, let me do this for that." Like, if it's coming up in my mind, I
Wow.
don't want it to take up space. Let me pour it out and put it to the river. Pour it out and
Mm-hmm.
put it in the river. I no longer wanna hold on to things,
Mm,
and that river visualization has literally gave me an outlook on my life, my energy. I mentioned before that I was listening to Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace, and how, our energy bodies are being used up by things that we hold on to. And that was
mm,
something that I have used to help me let go.
mm-hmm.
Water
Mm-hmm.
literally allows you to let go because it can carry things away.
Because yes, 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 it carries things away, and it holds you when you're afraid. Because sometimes you're afraid to let those things go,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you are someone. I use the term when you speak badly about yourselves or do things that don't um, honor yourself. I call it self-defecating. And
Mhm.
so I was about to use that. I'm like, I just want to preface what that means.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when for people who do self defecate themselves on themselves, um, you may feel like you have to continue torturing yourself.
Mhm.
Look at what you did. Look at what
Mhm.
has happened here. This is all your fault, or you're like this, or this is what's bad about you. And you may feel like, oh, but I can't let this go, because if I let this go, who am I going to be? Like, I have to know, or, I have to make sure that I chastise myself.
Mhm.
And that way I don't make the same mistakes twice. But it's like, no, you don't. You learn the lesson. And so, I feel like for people like that, or for anyone who goes through a situation like that, it's water just helps us remove, release.
Mhm.
Just as you said, that's a powerful visualization that I'm definitely
Mhm.
going to try myself. I
Mhm.
love that. I love that.
Mhm.
And that's it's the cleansing of everything.
Mhm.
It cleanses. So now we're going to be moving into our I Said What I Said segment. And this is where we discuss what we are looking forward to in our lives, where we're manifesting what we want to bring to us, what we want to receive. And also, we do it for you. We want you to write into us, and we want you to tell us what you're looking for in your life, what you are looking forward to, and even what you have already manifested in your life. We
Mhm.
want to hear about it. We want to amplify your voice. What we're doing is we're amplifying our voices, because when two or more come together, big things happen. You know the saying. So, what we're doing is we're making sure that we get enough thought power, enough thinking power behind our words, right? And it's guaranteed to happen. That's how you
Yes.
manifest. Saying
Yes.
it, believing it, knowing it's coming true. So,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
One thing that I wanted to share before we get into our manifestation is a tool um for water manifestation. Like you said, I remember doing a specific thing at the Siwa Pockley Womb Wellness Gathering the first time I went, and the lady,
Mm-hmm.
she's a older indigenous teacher there that came and did an exercise with us, and she had us create our own healing water
Oh, okay.
by putting water into a glass jar. So this is what you can do, and specifically for manifestation, like you said, you put water into a glass jar and you put your hand over it and you speak life into the water. Everything that you want to see for in your life, everything that you any a specific intention, a specific thing that you want to manifest, you speak it over the water. If you want this water to be for healing, for purification, for love, for abundance, you can say that over the water, and then you can keep the water and leave it out on a full moon night. Leave it open and leave it out. and let the moon infuse its light into it, and then it's activated, and then you can use that. You can anoint yourself with it, your head, your heart, your womb. You can, clean your space with it, your altar, your stones, your crystals. You can put it on your body. You can splash your face, and it'll be exactly that. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, that is a little quick manifestation tool that you can use for water with water
I love
before we get
that.
into it. Yes.
Yes, and I see, look, I already make moon water sometimes, not every month, when there's a full moon, putting the water in the mason jar.
Yes.
But I have not put my intentions into it.
That is what you have to do, is speak life and
Yes.
speak intention into it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what we want to manifest today. So today's segment, we are going to be sharing our own manifestations for the podcast. Since this is season 2, episode 1, we want to speak intentionally. We want to speak out what we want. We are manifesting specifically abundance in resources as it pertains to grants, podcast
Hmm.
grants. We are applying and will be continuing to apply for grants. We want to specifically manifest $10,000 in podcast grants, or rewards or gifts, whatever, in whatever form we will receive, so that we can have a promotional marketing photo shoots. We want to be able to have a clean, crisp, well functioning website.
Hmm.
We want to be able to create a newsletter to build our community. And we want to be able to create promo materials, specifically. What is it called? What that you send to people, like your media kit. We want to be able
Oh
to
yeah, the
create a
media kit.
professional media kit with
Yes.
with professional promo videos and reels,
Hmm.
so that we can pitch ourselves, or if somebody just happens to know and reach out to and send our YouTube to the producers, the creators, the people in charge of the Shondaland Network. We are manifesting being a podcast on that network.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
So we absolutely want to be on the Shondaland Network and completely align with it because of their mission statement. The Shondaland mission statement and all of the different podcasts that are on there align with what we do. It's a very positive space to be in. Number
Mhm.
one, she's a Black woman, okay,
Mhm.
doing
Mhm.
big things
Yes.
and
Yes.
does it in a way that is like uplifts our voices, uplifts the Black voice in a way that is not all about what we've been through.
Mhm.
Oh, and all the, slavery and it's not all about that stuff. It's literally showing that no matter the color, creed, we are all one.
Right.
And lifts us up as intelligent and just good people.
Right.
And that's we want to be a part of that type of movement, plus all of the, what is it, the word that I'm looking for is success, all of the success that she has come across and
Mhm.
has fostered for herself. I
Mhm.
just seeing, I don't remember which podcast that we saw that was on there when we even discovered, for us to even discover that
Iyanla.
Shondaland.
Iyanla.
Yes. Yes, Iyanla's. Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
So it just
Mhm.
seems like that is, I felt it in my gut. I was like, oh, shoot, this is the one.
Mhm.
And when you
Mhm.
feel something, you can't just wait for it to come to you. Part of
Mhm.
manifesting is action. You have
Yes.
to be prepared to receive it. And so we got to act like we're there.
We have to act like
We
we're
have to act
there.
like it's ours.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she promotes storytelling, diverse storytelling, people of cultural many different cultural backgrounds, and storytelling
Mm-hmm.
at its finest, like Bridgerton and
Mm-hmm.
How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal, and like her, obviously Grey's Anatomy. Like her shows have been at the forefront of the last 20 years. Um, of just transformative storytelling and what that looks like by a Black woman. And
Yeah.
so we wanted to share our mission statement, because we know that our mission statement aligns with her mission statement. And so we're just going to share that so it can make our manifestation even more powerful. So I'm going to read it now. It's Keep Expecting Miracles is a space where we explore the beauty of transformation, the power of unlearning, and the miracles that unfold when we align with ease and flow. Through raw storytelling, meaningful conversations, and spiritual insight, we empower our listeners to trust their journey, embrace their inner wisdom, and create lives filled with intention, joy, and magic. Our mission is to inspire a global community to see the extraordinary in the everyday and always keep expecting miracles.
Mm.
So, Shondaland, here we come.
Yes, look, I can feel it. So, and then the next piece of this is, as I said already, it's the knowing that it's there, knowing that we have it, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that's just the feeling that we don't want this. It is our reality. We have
Mm.
it.
I
That's
know.
the second piece, especially when we're talking about rapid manifestation. It's like,
Yes.
are we ready to actually be there?
I hope
Yeah.
so. I'm scared. I'm so scared. That's why I'm like, we need to get a grant or something. Like for so the okay, so a part of manifesting is breaking down the fear behind it. Like,
Hmm.
are you ready for this? And I
Hmm.
I would say I don't know, because
Hmm.
I'm like, are we ready? Like, we don't have a website. We don't have a promotional photo shoot. Maybe somebody will gift us one. Like,
Hmm.
we're not in a big, beautiful studio with multiple cameras. We're literally doing this in our houses, and we're doing what works for us,
Right.
for our families, for our
Yeah.
children, for ourselves, for our pockets. And so
Hmm.
obviously we're baby steps. We're at the baby beginning of this. And so we couldn't wait for all of the things to be in place for us to tell our stories, for us to
Hmm.
start this podcast. And so we're literally manifesting and building as we're putting out content. And so I am ready to receive the abundance and blessings that this podcast will bring. And I am ready to be on Shondaland. I am. I'm ready to take action. My husband was watching me watch back, because I tell Jessica all the time, like, we have to watch our own content. Like, that's
Yeah.
something that we have to do. So I was watching back one of the episodes yesterday on YouTube. So it's on the TV. And so the kids see mommy's on TV. It's so funny. And so Donnell came in. He was like, "You're watching yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He's just like, you so he was watching, he's like, "You guys look like you're really into it, like, you're having a lot of fun, you're enjoying it, you're very enthusiastic." I'm like, "Of course, this is fun. I wouldn't be doing this
Right.
if it wasn't fun, right?"
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
happy that we could do this in a way that works for us. Like, my baby is literally downstairs with his babysitter, with his nanny,
Yeah.
like, Jessica's able to go and get her daughter. And,
Yeah.
we're able to do what works for us. And we know as this grows, it will look different.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we are ready.
Yes, I'm ready too. And the most important part is having that, like, if you think about, a line, my visualization is that it's a line. Like, we have our arrow pointed there. And so right now we're at the base of the arrow and we're
Mm.
walking the line and we will end at Shondaland.
Well, maybe that's another beginning. That's
It
just,
always is. It
that's another
always,
big, we will be at
look,
Shondaland.
like Matthias said, he said, Matthias, I will introduce him again. Matthias De Stefano is a thought leader, or he calls himself a rememberer.
Matthias De
Um,
Stefano.
that, yes,
I have to look it up.
that I listen to and study under. And he says, basically every time something manifests, it sparks a new question. So
Mhm,
what we feel may be the ending, or every goal and every mark that we reach,
mhm.
that's just the beginning of a new story.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh, I love it.
absolutely right. Yes,
Yes, it would just be the
yes.
beginning. Haha.
Yes. So we
Amazing.
will, if anybody knows any of the podcast producers or from Shondaland and they want to send this over to them, if they want to shout us out, if they want to, connect us, we are open, willing, and ready.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
we receive
Yes, yes,
it.
yes. Definitely.
We receive it.
Yes. So now we're moving into I've got an herb for that.
I've got a word for that.
Yes. So, in this segment, we discuss the herbs that Ilissa and I have used ourselves. We spend time with these plants, spend time with the herbs as living plants, and of course, as dried herbs, where we get to eat them, drink them, use them as tools in many different ways. We show reverence and we honor these plants. For what they can do, what they've done for us. And we also share insight with you as to what you can do when you're using the plants. Sometimes we offer, like, where you can go to get them, and et cetera, stuff like that. So today we're talking about Damiana. But
Yeah.
actually, before we move into Damiana,
Okay.
I wanted to, because we're on this theme of water, right? I wanted to make sure that I touch on Blue Lotus. So, again,
Yeah.
in this series, we're taking a deeper dive into what we spoke about in season 1, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to recap the same plants. But because we're on the series of water, I wanted to touch on how Blue Lotus is definitely a plant of the moon. Right? The
Mhm.
moon is associated with water.
Mhm.
And so the element of Blue Lotus is water. It grows in the Nile River, excuse me, that's where it was. That's where it's native to, the Nile River in Africa. And it's a lotus plant, right? So it is down in the bottom of the river, down in the ground. Okay. And so it grows up and it just lives in the water and it's swaying, right? So if you think about what this plant is doing, that's really what it tells you that it can do for you. And so I want to just put a reminder out there that Blue Lotus is great for allowing you to feel relaxed. It relaxes the body. It allows you to feel grounded, and it allows you to just go with the flow. It's definitely, just a relaxing plant. So just want to throw that out there. But we're going to discuss Damiana today.
Damiana, Tunera diffusa. It's known as a powerful aphrodisiac.
Mm-hmm.
And it's associated with emotional healing, native to Central and South America, so Latin America, as well as the Caribbean. And so it is known to strengthen the reproductive system. It's for sexual vitality if you want to awaken things in your sex life. It's also commonly used for um, uplifting of your spirit when you are depressed or feel anxious. And it symbolizes a deep connection to one's central self and emotional intimacy. Many people use it in smoke. You can include it in herbs that you smoke, and it's because it is a lung tonic and clears out your lungs, and it's a heart opener. When you do that, it opens up your heart and your sacral chakras, and so it embodies feminine power, and helps you tap into your inner strength and your intuition. People use it in indigenous ceremonies. It's a planet of Venus and Pluto, and maybe Mars. We've gotten
Yes.
some conflicting. Our sources are a little bit conflicting, so we want to just share all of that. So I'm reading Karen Rhodes' book, "The Art and Practice of Spiritual Herbalism." She has Damiana in here as Damiana is excellent to use for disconnection from sexual pleasure to trauma. It teaches what it feels like to have wholeness, warmth, and feeling in your lower chakra sexual organs. This plant is also one of my favorite plants. This is her saying. This plant is one of her favorite plants for dreaming, and I would never forget the dreams that Damiana brings to me. Damiana dreams are watery, lucid, visionary dreams. I recommend it to people who are seeking to dream about their future lover. It can be used in a bath, before bed, or in a spiritual dream pillow or dream tea to support the dream work that you do. But Damiana centers and grounds and has a life enhancing effect on the body and mind. Used in infusions and spells for lust, it is also drunk in liquors or cordials that are sipped slowly. So you can use it, like we said, for hot flashes, vaginal dryness, weakness, low libido, and either depression or anxiety. Um, I have used it mainly. It is one of the main herbs in the yoni steam that I created for myself, and the one that I sell to people. Because it, like they said, you can use it. It moistens your tissues. And apparently it was doing something that I didn't even realize it was doing when I was using it. Reading all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a reason why they recommend it in yoni steams too. Um, but it's said to be a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms.
Mm.
And so you're able to have a heightened awareness
Wow.
when you specifically when you steam, you can have a
Wow.
heightened awareness. Hmm.
I love that. I feel, Damiana is very new to me. And I was like, I know you keep talking about this plant. And someone else was like, oh, yeah, it's my favorite. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll try it.
Hmm.
So I finally got the powder and I'm drinking it right now, which is funny. I mixed it up with some of my other teas and um, I love it. Reading about how it spiritually helps you, I'm like, I can definitely feel that about it. Like even though
Hmm.
I'm drinking the powder as a tea, that's what I found. I still put it in, still put it in my little tea thing, so I don't have like clumps of it to drink,
Hmm.
um, the infuser.
Hmm.
But I love also that it turns the tea green, like you're drinking a green colored tea, which is cool. It's always fun to see the color change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's such a magical plant.
Yes, it is. So thank you for sharing that. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is witchy shit. This is where we explore things that are witchy to us. We have this as like a lighthearted. It can be heavy sometimes, but it's a lighthearted segment where we just tell stories, where we feature specific witches from movies or witchy things that we find now that we do with ourselves, with our families. And so this segment is specifically designed for us to just tap into that. So
Mm-hmm.
today we wanted to talk about how to create a spiritual bath. And this
Yeah.
is something that Jessica has shared on a previous podcast that she has done for her own ancestral healing.
Yes, I believe it was actually season 1, episode 2.
Oh.
It was the episode where we discussed ancestral healing, as you said. We were talking about, just having a connection to the ancestors, with the ancestors, and I had I guess, a profound experience in the water. Where I set it up, I set everything up. The bathroom was smoky. I was
Mm.
burning myrrh. I was burning frankincense. I was burning copal, and just had sound bowls playing, just really unlocking all of the different parts of the brain so that I can release into the water. I put coconut milk in the water. I had my
Mm.
salts, I actually make glycerites, which is just a suspension of vegetable glycerin with the plant, taking all of the nutrients out of the herb. And, had my journal and had my grandmother spirits
Mm.
on my mother's side come and say hello. And,
Mhm.
excuse me. And my great grandmother spirit on my dad's side, she also
Mhm.
said, hello, we got something for you to release.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was a very moving moment and something that I'll always remember. I will always remember that. So,
Yeah.
and I think I think it was in Adriana Ayalis, the owner of Anima Mundi Herb Shop, that I learned about spiritual baths. And she did talk about like how to set it up, and
Mhm.
then you shared that you do your own, and that
Mhm.
you've been doing it for a while.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'm somebody that I love bathing. I love showers, like you mentioned before. Like I love cleansing showers, long showers. And
Hmm.
so I didn't always, because if I lived in like different apartments, I didn't always have a bathtub. But specifically when we lived in our house, like the last 5 years, we had a bathtub, so I was able to take more baths. And I think I just made it more spiritual as time went on. As I, started to align with different herbs and stuff, I would just add them to the bathtub. But I wanted to share this with our pod fam just because it's something that has been meaningful for both of us. And so the first thing that you want to do is just prepare the area, prepare the space. So for me, my bathtub was in my um my guest room bathroom. So I always had to clean the bathroom. I had to remove any bathroom toys, anything that was not of peaceful um essence to me. So I just cleared the space, physically cleaned the bathtub, and I would just set it up. So any candles that you want to put, white candles, any energy candles that you're working with at the time, or just candles that smell good that you're already burning in your house, you can bring them to the area. Um, so you want to light your candles, bring any incense. You want to clear out the energy of the area with Palo Santo, with sage, some type of smoke. You want to cleanse the energy also. And then I always, before I take a bath, I always rinse myself off in the shower first. I don't just especially if it's been like a long day, I kind of like take a shower first. And then I will get into the bathtub. So clean yourself um before you get into the bathtub. And so I start running the water. I love very, very hot water. And so what I'll do is I'll put it all the way on hot. So I'll run the water. I'll then as it gets maybe about like a little bit under half, or maybe even before that, I'll put in the salt. And so I'll put a lot of, you have to use salt because salt is a property that enhances water. Obviously salt is in our bodies, and we have a saying in nursing is like wherever salt goes, water will flow. Because literally, like with the cells in your body, like if you have too much salt, you have too much water. And so if you want to release salt, if you want to release water, you have to do both of them at the same time. And so both of those are connected. And we know that it's the same thing for the ocean too. So salt
Hmm.
enhances the properties of your bath. It detoxes, it relaxes. So you can get anything like bath salts. I use the Dr. Teal's Epsom salts are fabulous for relaxation. So after you add the salt, that is when you want to add any flowers, herbs, enhancers, so essential oils. So the main herb that I love to add to a bath is calendula because it's very soothing and the flowers are not small. I don't like adding small little flowers because then it's a lot to clean up. So calendula, rose petals. I love adding rose petals to my bath. It's very soothing. I will add lavender buds even though they're small. Um, and so you can also add sage. The bath that I had after when I did my closing of the bone ceremony, my doula, it was motherwort in there. There was sage in there. There was calendula too. What else? There was so many different. It was Damiana was in there. Eucalyptus leaf. And so now you want to let the herbs brew. It's like you're brewing a
Mhm.
tea. So the water is very hot, so you're not gonna be able to just step right in because like I said, you want to start with very hot water and you want to let the herbs brew. Some people also add. I have never done this, but some people I've seen, like Goddess Jessie on Instagram, she'll make her spiritual bath with like beautiful fresh flowers,
Mhm.
fresh beautiful flowers as well as fruit. Like she's
Oh,
added
wow.
like lemons and oranges and like stuff like citrus fruit. And I think
Mhm.
obviously there's properties in the fruit too, but it's mainly like for the color, depending on what type of bath that she's doing. The bath
Mhm.
that you just described with you adding the coconut milk, that was a white bath, right, Jessica?
Mhm. Yes, it was.
Yeah, white bath. And so you do different baths based on the different, different parts of the month or what you're doing based on the moon or whatever intention that you have.
Mhm.
And so that could also, determine what herbs and ingredients you want to put in the bath also. Um, so I will also put on music, like meditation music, relaxation music. If I want to put on some Tony Jones, some Lizzie Jeff, or just like a flute, like a
Yeah.
Himalayan flute. If I want to, play some soothing music, so you set the ambiance and you just really get into a meditative state.
Mhm.
And so, as you're, before you step into the water, what you want to do is you want to say a prayer. You want to activate the bath with your words. You want to say a prayer or set an intention, whether it be for cleansing, whether it be like a mantra, like this bath will cleanse me. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. Say a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you that I can do this bath. Thank you that I am able to cleanse myself, heal myself. Let the properties of these plants that you have gifted us to this earth heal my body, enhance my awareness, and give me the strength that I need to move forward. Say a prayer and then get in the bath. Soak, relax, stay in it for at least 20 to 30 minutes so you can get
Mhm.
all the properties of it into your skin. I just recently did a bath that I was gifted a CBD bath salt from Janae Aiko's line Genetics from my cousin Lila. When I tell you, I'm like, what was in that? Was it just CBD? Because I came out feeling so relaxed.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't even use, I literally, sometimes I don't even use the herbs and stuff. Like, I'll just put in the salt.
Mhm.
And when I tell you, girl, I was relaxed. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
this is good. So, yeah, that's what, and then you just, listen to your music. Essential oils is another one, just like Jessica said. It's anything that you want to make the bath smell good. Lavender, eucalyptus, peppermint, any type of essential oil you want to use. And if you have crystals that you want to place around your bath, adorn it with flowers, crystals,
Mhm.
um, candles,
Right.
anything that makes you, enhances the experience and the beauty of it. So,
Yes, enhances the relaxation. I just want to make sure it's really important, as Ilissa just said, like make sure that you use the salt. The salt is
hmm
extremely important, and you
hmm
can't use the essential oils without the salt, because the essential oils will just end up falling to the bottom or floating on the top, depending on what type of plant it is.
hmm
But in order for it to mix with the water, it needs the salt.
hmm
So salt is
hmm
so important for our health.
hmm
So
hmm
important, especially with
yeah.
the water.
Yes. Yeah. It was good. I mean, obviously we resonate with water. Um, you know, our signs. Jessica's a
Mm-hmm.
double water. Double water. And I guess I am too. It's,
Yes.
it's in my big
Your big
3.
three.
I
Uh-huh.
know it's mainly water
Well, see,
rising.
we're a good mix of water and
Yeah.
earth. We're the same. Double water and then one earth.
One Earth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am a Pisces rising, Taurus sun, Scorpio moon.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a Cancer sun and moon and a Virgo rising on the natal charts.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah. So that's why me and Jessica get along, because it's Cancer Taurus connection, and then we have the water connection too. So
Yep.
that's why we connect with water so much too, because it's in us.
Yeah. Yeah. Why we can feel it.
Hmm.
It's in our DNA,
Hmm. Hmm.
ingrained.
Yes, but this is a good episode. We want to thank you guys for listening. Share the episode. Send us DMs. Send us messages. Review us on our YouTube channel or anywhere you listen to our podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Um, please send us in anything you want to manifest. Anything that you have manifested. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with somebody, share it with a friend. Tell them about us. So we thank you and we are very grateful that you have listened and tuned in.
Also, I want to say you can go ahead and follow our personal pages as well.
Hmm.
I am at Jessica the Brand on Instagram.
Yes, and I am Ilissa Explains It All on Instagram. So
Yes. Well, we'll see you on social media.
yes, bye
Bye.
bye.